Awesome. Hello out there, health people who love health. We are hitting Tom Maurer has hit a home run, and I've got on my game shirt today. I got my flag. I am super stoked about the new product that Sisel International is releasing for us to, oh man, it's just going to help everything work better. Right, Doc?
You got that right. Thanks for with that. Yeah.
You know, initially I thought, another, product that's going to do much. It's cool. Yeah, hydrogen water. Man, I started doing the research on hydrogen water and it blows my mind. It is awesome. So why don't you start sharing with us a little bit, Doc?
Oh, it is crazy what hydrogen water can do. When Tom introduced the diatomic hydrogen water machine, the Supra H2 machines that we had, I looked up all these different things. I went and got certified with the Molecular Hydrogen Foundation as somebody that knew a little bit more about this stuff. And I suggest go to the Molecular Hydrogen Foundation.org and get certified.
Awesome. That's a great idea.
It really is. I mean, just think about it. When you're talking to people, you can say, well, I'm certified in this.
I'm certified. That's right.
You're certifiable. I don't know if you're certified. There's a difference,
Be nice.
Hey, everyone, if you're listening to this and you're watching this on Facebook, give us a thumbs up, smiley face, give us a little heart thing. Let us know you're there. Tell us where you're from. I mean, everything like this, it goes out, it gets this out to other people. Share it on your page. Right now, you could be sharing it on your Facebook page. And that way people get to see a little bit about this science and they get excited about it, and the big thing is that the more shares you get, the more response you're going to get, and the more people you're going to help, because they're going to find out about the health-saving benefits that we got. And then what's going to happen is that they're going to start buying the products. If you're doing this as a business, holy cow, you get paid commission on that, right? And so the more times you share, the better it is. Right, Andrea?
Right. But, the most important part to most of us is that we're providing some really great health information for people to help them overcome obstacles in their life and to live a much more fulfilled life.
That's right. That's right. I tell people.
I want to point out that I might be like looking down at my phone while you're talking, Doc, but I can do two things at once because I'm a woman. And so I might be answering some stuff on Facebook Live, or I might be pulling up the research, so we can continue an inspiring conversation. So
there you go. Well, I appreciate it. I appreciate you being here every week. Hey, everyone. My name is Dr. Kurt Fisnick. This here is my beautiful associate. This is Andrea McKinney from up in Michigan. As you can see from the background here, I'm out in the mountains. I'm out deer hunting. And so no matter where I'm at, I'm here with you every Tuesday. And I'm doing this call. We do it live. We're doing it live on Facebook now. And what a great format. We did a call on Saturday. And I demonstrated the power of this hydrogen water. And I talked earlier about that Tom had come up with this machine, and there's a number of companies that make these machines, these devices. You hook it up to your tap water and it runs the tap water through it, and it makes a weak diatomic hydrogen. And so now Tom is working with another company. He's actually come up with a stick, some powder, and it's got different minerals in it, and you pour it in your water, and it produces hydrogen water, and it converts your water into hydrogen water. So you just put a little bit in there. The other day, I put a whole stick in a pint of water, and for 90 minutes, it was generating hydrogen gas in my water.
Awesome. And portable. Take it with you. Have it anywhere. It's awesome.
Right? I took it out here hunting with me. And so pretty soon we're going to have that available. You're going to be able to have it with you for about the cost of a cup of coffee. You can have hydrogen water.
That's great. I love it.
Yeah. And, so Andrea, one of the questions that people ask me all the time is they start asking about all these different machines and maybe some of this false information. Do you ever hear questions like that?
I do, and there's a lot of people out there using different types of hydrogen machines. I've heard the good, I've heard the bad, and I've heard the ugly. So, what do you think, what can you contribute to that?
Well, let's kind of look at a history of it. Let's go back, I don't know, 20, 25 years, right?
Okay.
So a company over in, I believe it was either Korea or Japan, they developed a machine, and we won't name any names, unless you want to tell us that it's Kangen. Oh, sorry.
Oh.
But they started making the claim that they had this alkaline water, right? And they always referred back to the 1939 Nobel Prize Dr. Otto Warburg. And Dr. Otto Warburg had some research where he showed that if your body was alkaline, cancer cells couldn't grow, and it really kept you healthy. And he got the Nobel Prize for that back in the 30s. And so they referred back to that, and they said, well, this is what our alkaline water does. And I get people saying that to me all the time. Like the other day when I did that demo with the Supra H2 Stix, somebody asked, well, what's the alkaline level? What's the pH of your water? And you know what the answer to that is, Andrea?
Does it matter?
It really doesn't matter, right?
I don't think so.
And so I had you grab a glass of water and a straw, right?
Yes, I have it right here.
Okay, so what I'm going to say is that, okay, let's say that that's a glass of hydrogen water, or alkaline water.
Okay.
So it's alkaline water. It came from the company that, promotes the alkalinity of the water, right? And so what I tell people when they have this alkaline water is that when you drink it, it's getting down into your stomach. And what's your stomach? What's the pH of your stomach?
It's acidic.
It's acidic. So if I take alkaline water and I put it in a really strong acid solution, what's it going to do to the alkalinity of the water?
It's going to change it.
It's going to neutralize it, right?
Yeah.
Acid and alkaline make neutral, right? And so that's what's happening. And so an easy demonstration for this is basically this. When you breathe out, when you exhale, your breath is acidic, just like the acid in your stomach. So if that was a bottle of alkaline water, Andrea, I'd just say to you, do this. Take that straw, and I want you to blow into it. Take a deep breath, a really deep breath first, and then blow it.
Stand up.
And make it bubble. Okay?
Yes.
So you just blew your acidic breath into the alkaline water. Guess what happened to the alkaline water?
It created a different gas for sure, right?
It's neutral. You just neutralized it because you put an acid in with an alkaline, just like dumping it into your stomach.
Awesome. I didn't know that.
Right? So if you check the pH of that water, if it had been alkaline water and now you checked it,
It wouldn't be. It would be neutral.
Right?
Okay.
So it blows that whole theory that their alkaline water is doing anything. Because by the time it gets down to your stomach, it's neutral. Neutral pH. Right?
That's good info to know.
Well, it's accurate, right? And so, but they were getting results. People were getting results drinking that alkaline water. And so the scientists were like, well, if it's not the alkalinity of the water, then what is it?
What is it?
And so they started testing it, and they started going through it, and they found out, guess what? That machine produces a small amount of hydrogen, very small amount of hydrogen, really, really tiny. And this is where size does matter, but it produces a little tiny bit of hydrogen in the water. But that hydrogen water was enough that it was actually making people get healthier.
Wow. That's cool.
Right? So that's the whole history on it. And so if you go back 20 years ago, very little science. Now you go on PubMed. Andrea, did you see a lot of research?
I went to PubMed today and I couldn't even read it all. It was like so scientific I couldn't read it. So I'll leave that part to you.
Thousands of research articles on it.
9,000 and something, yes.
Yeah. And they're just popping up like this because they figured out it's the hydrogen in the water. It's not the alkalinity of the water. So another thing people bring up, they're like, well, don't eat that orange. It's acidic.
Yes, and we've talked about that before.
Right? Right. If you drink lemon juice, guess what? It makes your body more alkaline. It's acidic, but it makes your body alkaline. Why is that?
Because it's acidic and you're acidic inside yourself.
Well, you're alkaline inside.
Inside the digestive tract.
The outside of the inside is acidic. Right. Your stomach acid. The outside of your skin, right? Mm-hmm. The inside of your mouth, it's all slightly acidic. And that's the way it's supposed to be, right? Because just like a battery, right? If you have a battery, you've got a positive pole and a negative pole, and they balance each other out. In your body, you have the alkaline on the inside, and you have the acidic on the outside. It balances each other out, so it's a net neutral, right? Mm-hmm. And that's why, like, even you take a look at Tom's products, right? When he's making shampoo, you think that pH is important?
Oh yeah.
It is. So how about if he's making toothpaste? Do you think the toothpaste has to have a different pH than the shampoo?
Yes.
Right. When you're looking at transfusium, you think that it has to have a little bit different pH than, say, the shampoo?
Yes.
You got that right. And so you went on a tour of the manufacturing.
I did. And it's amazing. His water system, I understand people come from all over the country just to see it. Municipalities come to view it because he has the ability it goes through like 5 cycles of, reverse osmosis. And then he can take all minerals out, put minerals back, change the pH. I mean, it's totally the coolest water system, I think, probably in the world.
It really is. And that's important, right? And it takes a guy like Tom Maurer to put that together and say, it's that important. It's that important, right? A lot of companies, what they do is they just take the water out of the tap and they make their product out of it.
Right. Well, Tom always goes above and beyond.
Yeah. So, as we're talking about these different things, the alkalinity, the Nobel Prize, the hydrogen water, wasn't that amazing how just that little stick could make the water produce hydrogen and oxygen for over 90 minutes.
That is amazing.
Yeah. Finally, I had to stop the experiment just because I had other things I had to get done.
I know, it went on and on and on. Right?
I know people were probably getting bored, but I'm going to go back and I'm going to shorten that a little bit and just make it so that people can see exactly what it did. But bottom line is that when you put these minerals into the water, immediately it starts churning up, and you can see it in the bottle. And I don't have another sticker I demonstrate for you right now, and I'm not going to go back and play a 60-minute video showing it. But what it did is that sitting here, I could watch the bubbles forming in the bottle. And for those of you that are out in viewer land and listening to this, those of you that were on the call, you remember I kept pointing out that on the top of the bottle, you could see that there was so much hydrogen and oxygen gases. It was pushing the water level down in the water bottle, and it was filling the top. It was creating a headspace with air, but it wasn't air. It's because air's a lot of nitrogen. Like out here, this is a lot of nitrogen gas, but in there it's hydrogen and oxygen. So and then inside the bottle, the water was getting super concentrated with hydrogen and oxygen gases. It's dissolving in the water. And so the whole idea is that, so when you take that, you let that form for a while, you take that cap off, you drink it, you're drinking hydrogen water. It's got extra hydrogen gases in the water that are dissolved, that goes into your body. And Andrea, what's the importance of the hydrogen?
Well, there are tons of important things that it does, but basically we have free radicals in our body, and they like to run around and steal electrons from healthy cells, healthy other parts of the body, and cause decay and destruction. and degeneration. And so the extra hydrogen goes in, and then those free radicals lock to that hydrogen, and it neutralizes them.
It neutralizes them. Isn't that important?
Yeah, yes.
And this morning you sent me one piece of research. It talked about depression, right?
Yeah.
And it talked about anxiety and things like that.
Call from unknown call.
Hang on. But it talked about the fact that when you drank the hydrogen water, it actually made you happier.
How about that?
Right? Water
helped with neurogenesis, which we've talked about here on this call before too.
Right? It helps make
who doesn't want more brain cells, right?
Who couldn't use that?
Right? I know a lot of people that could use more brain cells, me included.
I think every one of us, because as we age, I mean, we start losing a lot of brain cells. Our brains start deteriorating, start degenerating, and then because of all the toxins in our world, it causes problems. So bring up some of the research that you're going to ask questions on.
Well, I thought this was interesting. Hydrogen water is loaded with hydrogen molecules that can extinguish free radicals and cross the blood-brain barrier. That's important. Cell membrane, mitochondria, and even the nucleus of the cell.
Right.
So it's like deep cleaning, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, what happens is that the hydrogen is it's such a small molecule, right? You remember your periodic table, if you remember your high school chemistry, college chemistry, right? You had the periodic table with the rows and the columns and then all that. The hydrogen sat up here by itself and the helium over here, but hydrogen over here. And that meant that it had the smallest molecular weight of everything on the periodic table. So it's a really small molecule. So it can pass through anything. And it can pass through that's why you can't put hydrogen water even in a glass bottle, because the hydrogen is going to slip through the glass and it's going to escape. So you've got, so many minutes to drink that.
Right.
But it'll pass through the brain and neutralize the free radicals in the brain, and you bet.
Okay, so here's another thing. It says prevents brain damage. And let's make a disclaimer here. I'm just reading information I found on the internet, right? And you're sharing science that you found on the internet from more in-depth things than what I looked at. So we're not making any claims here. We're just reporting what's already been proven. Okay.
Right. We're just talking generically about hydrogen water, right?
Right.
And because our product has been tested, I mean, it's not even out in the market yet. So how in the heck are we going to test it? But hydrogen water does these things that Andrea's talking about.
Yeah. So here they're saying drinking hydrogen water prevented the development of Parkinson's disease in an experiment on rats. Hydrogen water reduced oxidative stress and prevented cognitive impairment associated with dementia and Parkinson's disease. Now, we've been talking about dementia for a month now, right?
Right.
One more tool to prevent from what they say 50% of everybody will get dementia eventually.
Right.
Because this is one way to do that. So hydrogen water restored the natural growth of brain cells in mice because this was about the antidepressants and the effect they have on the brain. So they did an experiment and showed that hydrogen water helped with that.
So that's all we need is mice that live a long time and they're really smart.
Really smart mice, right. I think I have a few of those running around here.
Oh, yeah. That's all we need is really smart mice running around.
Right. Okay, so here's another one. Hydrogen water reduces muscle fatigue, motor deficits, and muscle degeneration. And this is great for our workout people. It's going to be fabulous for them. Young athletes drinking hydrogen water reduced lactic acid buildup during heavy exercise and decreased muscle fatigue. Get this one. Again, disclaimer. A study on mice with the Duchenne muscular dystrophy, a devastating muscle disease. Hydrogen water prevented abnormal body mass gain and increased the production of the antioxidant glutathione peroxidase.
So it's working on in the detox system, right? That's where glutathione works.
Yes. Yes. So that was another thing on, I mean, there's just a whole list here. Hydrogen water significantly reduced fatty liver in mice with type 2 diabetes and obesity.
That's because those mice are eating too much of the sugary foods that people left on their counter.
Right. Right. Let's see. Also, levels of glucose, insulin, and triglycerides were decreased by stimulating energy metabolism.
Wow. Do you have anything there on I was reading last night that it helps with kidney disease?
I do. Hang on. Because I was really interested in that for a friend of mine.
Right, because you and I were talking about kidney disease a couple weeks ago because of the fact that they have found that if you have kidney disease, it produces an enzyme that destroys stem cells, right?
Yeah, so, you mentioned that.
Yeah, so if we can make the kidney so it works properly, we're going to have better stem cell life. So guess what? We can basically say if hydrogen water helps the kidneys, then shouldn't it, and we'll ask this as a question, right? Shouldn't it help with stem cells?
Right. And don't we want good stem cells? Yeah, here it says, a study in rats found that hydrogen-rich water was able to improve kidney dysfunction from toxic damage by reducing oxidative stress and chemical waste products, creatinine and blood urea nitrogen.
Wow.
Drinking hydrogen water also reduced inflammation and blood pressure in hemodialysis patients. Let's just take it to all the dialysis clinics around the country because they're full. Yeah, right. And there's so many things here. Hearing loss, hydrogen water combats allergies.
Did you have to put it in the ears for the hearing loss?
The hearing loss, it was due to the death of the cochlea hair cells. So it helps.
Loud noises. So do you have to dump the water in the ear?
I think so. And as long as it doesn't run out the other side, you're good.
You okay?
Diabetic mice with hydrogen water significantly improved heart muscle function.
Wow.
I mean, all of this, hydrogen water protects the eyes. Treating the cornea with hydrogen solution, which is what they did, significantly reduced angiogenesis, blood vessel growth after alkali burn injury in mice. But what I want to point out here is we know the eye is the most permeable surface we have. And I've done this. I have used things to remove toxins from my eyes before. I used to have all these bad floaters. I spent 3 years of my life staining furniture. That's what my husband and I did at one point years ago. And so I had those fumes and chemicals going into my eyes all the time. And during that time frame, I just got all these yucky floaters in my eyes and stuff and had them for a long time until I did something to remove toxins from my eyes. And so that's just saying right here, hydrogen water, if it's that permeable to go into the nuclei of the cells, it can go into the eyes and pull the toxins out of your eyes too, right?
Wow.
That's just an Andrea theory. So.
Right? So are you saying that maybe we could take it and put it into an eyedropper?
Yeah, I just dump it right in. Yeah, sure. I don't know why not.
Right?
Yeah.
Good idea. You could put a little bit in an eyedropper and it'd be worth trying.
Yeah. Anybody out there with black floaters in your eyes, go ahead and try this, right?
The one thing that I would say though is that when I drank the water, it had a mineral taste So I might say you might want to dilute it down quite a bit before you do that.
Okay.
Right? Because when I drank that hydrogen water the other day, I don't think I have the empty bottle in here. No.
Well, I'll be the guinea pig. I'll do it.
You'll do it?
Yeah.
Live on Facebook?
Sure. Why not?
Right here.
Might be kind of gross, but
right here. Give us a thumbs up. Tell us where you're from. Smiley face. Heart.
Yeah. Give us a thumbs up if you want Andrea to put hydrogen
thumbs
water.
Up. We're gonna have 100 thumbs up, and then Andrea will dump a bottle of hydrogen water in her eye.
Right, right. Get this. Reduces side effects of cancer treatments. Well, why would it be doing that if it removes toxins, right?
No, it couldn't help with that.
No. Drinking hydrogen water improved mortality and body weight loss caused by anti-cancer drug cisplatin.
Cisplatin. So what is cisplatin? Cisplatin is when you see the word platin, right? It's got platinum in it, and that's one of the really strong chemotherapies.
Okay, and reduced kidney toxicity in mice.
Wow.
So there you go. There's another answer for your kidney.
Another thing on mice. Wow.
It helps with skin. Of course, it would help with skin. Metabolic acidosis.
Right, because it reduces the acids.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to help.
Looking here, helped people.
You know, one of the things that I keep telling people is that one of the most damaging of the free radicals is called the hydroxyl free radical, and what that means is that it's a chemical compound, but over here on the side, just think of it like it has a little ear or a little antenna on it, and on the antenna is an OH molecule. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And on that OH molecule, it's missing an electron. So what it does is, like Andrea was saying earlier, this hydroxyl free radical runs around your body and steals the electrons from healthy cells. And what that does then is makes the healthy cells unhealthy. It turns them into free radicals. And now you get this chain reaction going. And how many times does that reaction happen?
39.
39 times, right?
Yes.
So it just makes sense that if you can neutralize that right away over here, and what does it do? Well, we're putting in hydrogen, which is an H, right? Mm-hmm. And we're adding it to an OH. And so if you have an H plus an OH, guess what you got?
Valences. Yeah, it's neutral.
Right? And H2O is water. So you can take the most damaging of the free radicals, and you can convert it into water. Folks, I'm telling you, that's as easy as it gets to explain this stuff. You don't have to sit there and know all these science studies that Andrea is bringing up, because all you have to do is you go online, you find them, you do a presentation with that, you just say, here, read this. But all you have to know is that it reduces the free radical to water. Right. And people say, well, how does that work? You say, look, I'm not a chemist.
Right. But some people like details, so it's good to have a resource that you can just shoot to them and give them, let them read it, you know?
Right? Shoot them this video. What the heck?
Well, you know, another really good thing they have in here is weight loss. It helps with weight loss. And of course, everybody in the world, 90% of us are wanting weight loss, right? Let me see if I can find that one real help. Promotes gut health, protects the lungs. This is really good. Consumption in rats had a protective effect against lung tissue injury by suppressing inflammation and oxidative stress.
Wow.
A lot of people with lung problems, right?
Yeah.
Radioactive protection. They radiated some mice and discovered that when they had been giving them hydrogen water, they had a better recovery.
So anybody that's flying, doing a lot of flights, where you're exposed to radiation, if you're working in a radioactive lab, like say, and do x-rays, things like that, you bet. We're all exposed to that. Well, Andrea, I was just looking at the clock. You know, we went over by 8 minutes already.
How about that? Well, it's such an interesting topic, right?
It really
And
is.
you know what? I think Tom Maurer got a home run with this one. I'm waving my flag.
Right?
Yes. I mean, just this is wow. You know, it's portable. Take it with you. Dump it in your water bottle, you know, and it's just going to increase all those wonderful functions in your body and protective elements.
Yeah.
Getting rid of free radicals, getting rid of inflammation. I mean, this is a home run hit. Yes, it is.
It's going to be a great product. Andrea, I'm super excited about it, and I know you are as well, especially now since you started reading up on the science.
Yeah.
Man, right?
Yeah, so I just encourage you guys, just go out and Google benefits of hydrogen water. Just go get some great information under your belt because it's truly, truly really fabulous.
You bet. And we'll do more calls on it here on Facebook Live. And in that way, you know, we'll kind of give you more information that you can use. I mean, that's the importance of these calls is that, you know, and now we're doing them live on Facebook, so you don't have to dial in, anything like that. Everybody's on Facebook. I think they check Facebook more than they check their own pulse, you know?
Definitely. And if your pulse isn't working, you're not checking Facebook.
If your pulse isn't there, there's no reason to check Facebook.
That's
All
right.
folks, you know, Andrea, I'm going to let you close out the call and I'll get us off of here.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Doc. Even out there hunting, you come and help us, and I appreciate that. We all appreciate that so much. You know, every Tuesday we have this doctor's clinic call, and Doc shares some really great information with us. We work with a company called Sisel International that provides, in my opinion, the best effective products, high quality products in the world. And that's why we do these calls every week to help you discover things that will help you with your health. So we appreciate you joining us. We hope you tune in next Tuesday. See you then. Bye.
Thanks, everyone.